this kind of person to leave an impression on people, you know. Is really real spirited and real strong-hearted, and just his story alone will, you know, to see that, you know, he'd made it, you know, through all the shit that he's been through in his life, you know. Just a real strong and powerful man, you know, his words and his spirit and stuff. So I looked up to him a lot, you know. He was a lot older than I was, you know.
He's been drinking, and it worried me. And I just thought, you know, if they picked him up, you know, they could throw him in jail for, you know, a couple weeks, let him sit there and think what he's doing to himself and his family.
I lost track of the trail. I pulled in right here, and the car had centered right here. As you can see, some of the rocks and boulders are still moved where the car was pinned. At that point, like I said, I bailed out and was scared and just running. And when I'd ran this way. I remember tripping over this stuff. I came to, there's this big ravine that I fell down. These bushes weren't here this last year. I just remember running blind and pitch black, and when I was running, I lost my ground. The ground just left right from underneath me. I remember falling into this ravine. I remember coming up on the other side. Shortly after the other side of it is when I'd heard 2 gunshots back to back. 2 gunshots, bang, bang, real loud.
How soon after you got out of the car?
I'd say like 10 seconds.
My cousin asked me if I wanted to ride up there, and I said no, I didn't want to, but now I wished I had. I know they wouldn't have let me see them, but if I would have maybe went out of control, ran over there, I would have been able to see him and hold him and just be there with them. But I know they wouldn't have let me. Well, the sheriff came down at 3 o'clock to tell me that there was a shooting, and he didn't even tell me. I just says, "Is my son dead?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he said he'd be down later to, you know, tell me more, but he never did. And we just heard everything on the news. The SWAT came after the sheriff did. That's when they were looking for Dana. Like they robbed a bank or killed somebody or something, you know, but for just taking off on my car and I just wanted it home, you know, then they end up killing him.
I think they are very malicious and even to the native people. They like to, you know, they get a call about any natives, they're right on it, you know.
Maybe it's a racial issue. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know. Like, it makes no sense to me because he had committed no crimes. Why would they even pursue him at any point, you know?
Dana was able to get away without Josey didn't see him, but he saw Corey. And I do believe Josey had it out for Corey.
We've never seen the footage of the officer that chased us and the one that shot Corey. You only see the 3rd or 4th officer coming up on the scene.
When I got home, my family took me up there. And they were up there previously, but they didn't touch anything. What I saw were missing rocks in the ground. It was obvious where the car had high centered, where the oil started leaking. But around the car, where the car was stopped, there were holes in the ground where rocks were obviously taken.
It's like a whole big cover-up, you know? I mean, why is it such a big deal, and why is it having to come into a lawsuit? why wouldn't the answers being given right away, and why are they withholding information? Why isn't there videos of, like I said, of Del Josey's vehicle, and just everything that doesn't add up? Why would his body be over here when I heard the gunshots a lot closer?
Right. But from what we hear about Del, he's got a bad temper. And I know he tasered one of these Indian boys here on the res when he was when they were handcuffed.
Yeah, and we've had people knock on the door just crying and sobbing tears, and people that are willing to come to court and testify against this Del Josey.
A person like that should be in police force.
Brought up by a bunch of his peers, and they found him not guilty, and that it was justified, so they let him come on back onto duty, but that he's been on light duty, whatever that means.
Del Josey, I think, he needs to admit what he did. That he killed Corey, and that he shouldn't have killed him.
Well, I think we got a lot of supporters from the community, but then you have the sheriff's department or whatever, and other people that are linked into those guys that just have their own opinions and are obviously going to back their own guy, because if they throw him to wolves, they've got a dirty department here that they all go down with them. So
there's a few times that I've actually thought about, so are we living back in the whatever years where this cowboys against Indians? It's like, whoever allowed them to even have guns, did it carry on from the past where where the sheriffs and the cowboy hats got to you carry the guns, and the Indians pretty much had to fight with pretty much whatever.
Yeah, just this past year has just been just deep depression, and I'm thinking of any good points that I've had of thinking about this whole situation. That's just all sad, and can't believe it's even happened. And
I feel like I'm not doing my part with these kids like I'm supposed to. I'm not there for them because I'm not giving my all to them when I should be. But I'm too wrapped up in my own sorrow, And I need to pay attention to them. I need to be there for them. Because Corey loved those girls, and he worried about them all the time. And I know that he would want me to keep caring for them and taking care of them.
For one, my grandmother and my mom's relationship has changed a great deal.
I blame Dana. And that's not right.
The caring and loving support that I believe she should have gotten from her family, I have not seen. And that breaks my heart. But my mom is just, she's so understanding, and so are my brothers and the immediate family. Like I said, we don't blame Dana. We stick to the facts. We know who pulled the trigger.
Say they're kind of afraid of them, where nobody's entrusting them, that they don't feel safe anymore, and I don't think any of us do. I mean, I get scared every time I see a Millard County sheriff's truck, when I get close to them or by them. I mean, they're all work together as a team, and it's scary to even be in this county still, and I feel like I just need to always watch over my shoulder, and it's sad, I feel like, when I was a kid growing up, the police were the people that, protect and serve, not, feel like you're going to be shot or killed by them or scared for your life by them. But that's just the way the community, and I think a lot of people feel now. They see the cops, and either they're angry at them or they're afraid of them, but never the way they call them for, help or anything. Or
I think we need to work as a community and have solve our problems before they turn to the police. I didn't want him to hurt anybody or hurt himself. But now I wished I hadn't. So I have guilt. Maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time. They say we need to let go. But I don't know if I can. I miss him and I love him so much.